Good morning, good morning. What are we, 14th of October? It's Tuesday. Just going to do my pre-market analysis to see where we're at. Didn't really look too much at the charts yesterday. It's bank holiday in the US. One trade last week. But yeah, man, like this price action's been a little bit rough. For me personally, might be really good for other people. But we've just had this. Where were we? September was from around here. We're just kind of consolidating right now, right? We're just like in this sort of zone. So yeah, DXY is kind of just side to side. So, but anyways, let's still have a look and see if we can forecast and kind of give a bit of gist on how I look at the market. But for me, it's all about structure. Structure and price action. So if I'm looking at where we're at structure-wise, we're at this high here, which made this low, and then we've kind of broke above. I'll explain the lines in a second. So we're kind of in this range now. We whipped here, swept liquidity, and then we had like an internal break of structure as well. So this is my external range, and my internal range is here, right? So I just play the structure. I play the premium and discount ranges. Look at liquidity, where does price want to reach next, and then kind of supply, demand, so on and so forth. So we're kind of in this range now. If I was just to look at my range here, this is the kind of fib, just to show you the kind of premium and discount. Simple as I'm not going to be buying the dollar anywhere up here, and I'm not going to be selling the dollar anywhere down here. Simple as that. But I will, however, look to buy the dollar, i.e. short EU, if and when price comes back into our discount level of this range. Keeping things simple as possible. So that's what I'm looking at. I use the dollar to get my kind of overall bias. I would ideally like to see price push higher. Again, like I don't look at much on the macros. Sorry, I'm a bit sick right now, which is probably why I'm a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I don't really look much fundamentally. It's more about price structure. I try to keep things simple as possible. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Looking for kind of the dollar to push a little bit higher. I use the daily, and then sometimes if we're a bit unclear, I'll kind of go down onto the 4 hour. But I would like to see kind of these lows go, and we see price push down into this zone here. It's what I would like to see. Will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows, right? We're predicting. We never know what is going to happen. Cool. So now I've looked at the dollar and where I want things, where I anticipate price to go, and kind of build your story, your narrative, right? You don't just jump into the market and be like, okay, I want to long here because of momentum or this. You want to look at the bigger picture, zoom out, see where we're at. Okay, we're bearish on the dollar for quite a long time, pretty much from the start of the year. We then seen that shift, we've seen a sweep, we've seen internal break structure. So structure-wise, it's telling me that the dollar will continue to push higher. However, we could just crash through. Who knows? You know what's going to happen. You don't know what Trump's going to say. You don't know what war's going to start next. So yeah, let's go to EU now. So I only trade EU. Again, I'm busy. I work. I don't like to look at loads of pairs, loads of instruments, whatever you want to call them. I just focus on EU for now. Will I diversify a bit in the future? Probably. But it's EU for me for now. I take like one trade a week on average. If my trade frequency increases more than that, I see a negative P&L. So it's very clear to me that I am more profitable with the kind of less is more approach. And I just keep it simple like that. So cool. This is where the looking at the dollar is also important, right? Because slightly different story in EU, really, if you were to just be black and white in terms of candle and candle structure, because what we've seen here is we've got this was our bearish range, right? And you could say, oh yeah, price has broken this high here, right? I use a thick line for the break. Price has broken this high here, so we're actually going to see the dollar and EU trade higher, which it could, and it still might, right? I would analyze this to say, okay, cool, we've got some lows here. Um, we've got like an area of imbalance in here. Oh, we've got sorry. We've got like a area of imbalance here. So we look to price to come a bit lower, and then we kind of push to the upside. Could happen. Not saying it's not going to happen. It could happen, but it's always good to look at different scenarios anyway. Shut up. Different scenarios anyway. However, I know I have my bias with the dollar first. That kind of trumps everything. Excuse the pun. Yeah, it's always still good to be conscious of other potential options and ideas as well. So yeah. Anyways, rambling on. Back to my analysis. So looking more here. So okay, cool. We kind of broke to the downside. We're in this sort of daily range. We've got our daily area of supply here. Range is now from here to here. Keep things simple. I would now like to see EU push a bit higher, and then we kind of trade to the downside. Longer term target, we'd like to see this low go. And that's it. I personally, again, there's a lot of discretion and experience. I've been trading for 5 years now, so you kind of have your own discretion on what you've seen and just how you digest the chart, right? Everyone looks at things differently. But I would view this more as like a sweep because that's how I'm viewing it on the dollar. So yeah. Now, what do I do now? So we look at the daily. Okay, cool. I'm not really in an area of interest where I would want to trade from. 4 hour, we're sort of bearish. I would preferably like to see price kind of come up, take these highs, and then we kind of see another redistribution and sell to the downside from here. However, we could just react from here and push lower. But let's see. I just try and wait for the higher probability setups. So that's it for now. I'm not really going to look at anything today unless we get push up. What would be nice is EU pushes up with the US market open later. We might see kind of a big gap or a big movement there. Obviously, there was a lot of news over the weekend and bank holiday yesterday. So let's see how things are. I'm probably going to sit on my hands today. If I go to the 1 hour, I normally work my way down the time frames, but because I'm not really in any area of interest, like what am I going to trade here? To me, this is just shit. So yeah, am I going to want to catch along from here? No, not really. Why? Because I said right at the start, in terms of my ranges, higher time frame range, I'm not going to be buying from here, right? Because where are we? No, that was the dollar, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to be buying from here. So you could look at counter trend longs if you wanted to long back up into this area. But again, why? Just wait and see what plays out. We're actually bearish still in the 1 hour if you really wanted to get anal with it, because this high and this low, I determined structure on candle closes, and we didn't see a close above this high here. So that's it. I'm going to wait for price. So to summarize, let's have a quick look. Let's put this to the dollar. Let's put this to EU. Cool. We'll do 1 hour in EU. Daily on the dollar. Cool. So to kind of summarize, dollar, I would prefer to see price come lower first into this area of demand, and then we see some sort of accumulation and push to the upside. And on EU, similarly, looking for that as well. Would like to see price push higher into this area of supply. Could be something for the second half of the week. Let's see what happens. News-wise, not really too much going on this week. We've obviously got PPI and stuff, but today is pretty clear in my trading sessions. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, it's all New York session news. So yeah, I'm gonna leave things there. Try and keep these videos to around 10 minutes. Yeah, see you soon.